Every time a lender goes to do a loan for somebody, there's actually two things they qualify that people, they kind of lose sight of, right? We qualify the person and we qualify the property. Hi, Sagafi, Liberty Home Mortgage, and today I'm talking about condominium financing. Now, condominiums add an extra layer of paperwork that every mortgage lender in America has to go through, which makes it a little bit tougher than your average run-of-the-mill single-family home. If you're looking to buy a condo, or you're a real estate agent representing somebody looking to buy a condo, or you're a real estate agent selling a condo, or who knows, you're an attorney representing an estate trying to sell or buy a condominium, pay attention to this video. But of course, before you do, subscribe to my page, like, comment, share this on your page for others to see, and we'll go from there. But let's start with this one here. Here's the big document. It's called the condominium questionnaire. No matter what type of loan you're doing, FHA, VA, USDA, or a conventional loan. So for all of those loans, you need to get a condominium questionnaire filled out by the association. First of all, what is a condominium questionnaire? When it comes to condominium financing, the questionnaire is generally 3 to 5 pages long. It asks a series of questions, okay? I'll give you an example. One of the questions is, how many units are in the building? Let's just say there's 100 units. There's 100 units in the building. Another question is, how many units are owned by the same individual? How many individuals own multiple units? And let's just say they say, well, there's one person that owns a lot of units. Great. Another question is going to be, how many units does that person own? For all types of financing, one individual cannot own more than 10% of the units. So for example, if you said one person owns 11 units and there's 100 units, well, that's 11%. That's a no-no. You will not get traditional financing. Now there's other types of financing, portfolio loans, things like that, or if you can get a waiver, whatever. But 99.9% of the time, you're not going to get financing done if one person owns more than that percentage of the units in the building in total. Here's another question, for example. How many unit owners are behind on their HOA fee? When you live in a condominium, you pay somebody called the homeowners association. Well, you pay something called the homeowners association due. So believe it or not, a lot of people are behind on their HOA due. So for example, generally speaking, it's like 15 to 20 to 25% of the unit owners cannot be more than 30 days delinquent on their association fee. Think about that. If all of the unit owners stop paying the association doesn't have the money to cut the grass, plow the snow, make repairs on the roof, on the windows, whatever it is. If there's litigation against the unit, like one of the questions is actually, is there any pending litigation against the association for any of the buildings? So there's a lot of questions that are asked on this simple but not so simple form called the condominium questionnaire that has to get answered. Now, if you're looking to buy a condominium, you're like, oh my God, this is terrible. It's not terrible. It's actually to make sure that the association who's managing and overseeing the building or buildings that you're buying in is managing them properly, has enough money to cover, has the right insurance involved. There's something called fidelity bond insurance. For example, when you send in your payment to the association, you have an expectation that the association is taking your money, putting it into the bank account, and then using that money properly, correctly, and intelligently to make any repairs or to run your condominium. A lot of people buy condominiums for, it's the standard of living. They don't want to cut the grass. They don't want to do the gardening. They don't want to deal with roof repairs and certain things like that. That's the upside of living a condominium. It's relatively on all of that. It could be a little less stress on you, and definitely retirees, people who live in big houses where the kids grew up and now the kids all moved out, they no longer need a 4,000 square foot, 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom house with a gigantic yard. They don't need that anymore. They need maintenance-free living. And what's maintenance-free living? It's living in a condominium. You don't have to do all of that stuff. So the questions we ask on this questionnaire, this is what they're asked for. The biggest lesson for today when it comes to purchasing a condominium is that there's a form called the condominium questionnaire that has to get filled out. If the association, sometimes they take a month to fill it out. So it takes me a month into contract to find out the answers to those questions. Sometimes they get it back in a day. A lot of times they use systems, one's called HomeWise, that cost $300 to $600 just to get the forms filled out, especially if you're an agent. Understand what the lender needs going in. There's definitely a lot more than that, but today's little topic was to give you some of the basics of it so you understand it. And the most basic part of it, but probably the biggest, is the condo questionnaire. Make sure you pay attention to that. Make sure you keep following these videos. I'm always dropping little nuggets of knowledge. I call them bricks of gold, as I always say. Success leaves clues. So we'll catch you on the next video and we'll go from there. Thank you so much.